Let me start with something that might annoy you a little. Billionaires are not more motivated than you. Yeah. Let that sink in. They don't wake up every day feeling like a superhero. They don't magically love hard work. And no, they're not running on some secret fuel you don't have. So why are they winning? Why does someone like Elon Musk build rockets while most people struggle to build a consistent morning routine? Why does Jeff Bezos think in decades while most people can't commit to a habit for 10 days? Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not about motivation. It's about habits that most people avoid. And today, we're going to break them down. Not the Instagram version. Not the wake up at 5 a.m. and drink lemon water. Nonsense. The real habits, the uncomfortable ones, the ones that actually change your life. Let me give you the foundation first. Billionaires don't focus on habits. They focus on identity. Read that again. You're trying to do successful things. They're trying to be the kind of person who can't avoid success. It's like going to the gym. Most people say, I need to work out. A different mindset says, I'm someone who doesn't skip workouts. See the difference? One is effort. The other is identity. And once identity changes, habits follow automatically. Habit 1, ruthless time awareness. If you don't control your time, your life is already outsourced. Let's slow this down for a second. You don't lose time, you spend it. Every scroll, every delay, every I'll do it later, that's a transaction. And most people are broke, not financially, but temporarily. Here's the uncomfortable question. If someone audited your last 3 days like a billionaire audits a company, would they invest in you or would they walk away? Because billionaires don't guess where their time goes. They measure it religiously. Bill Gates was known for breaking his schedule into tiny blocks, not because he loves calendars, but because he hates waste. And here's the irony, people say, I don't want to live like a robot, but then live like a passenger. No control, no direction, just reacting. That's not freedom. That's drift. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine your day as a bank account with 24 units. Now imagine you randomly hand those units to notifications, emails, other people's priorities, and, let's be honest, nonsense. And at the end of the day, you say, I had no time. No, you had time. You just didn't decide where it went. Now here's where it gets real. Most people overestimate what they do in a day and underestimate what they waste. You think you worked all day, but if we zoom in, it was fragmented. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Constant switching. That's not deep work. That's shallow motion disguised as productivity. And shallow motion does not build powerful results. Let me hit you with something uncomfortable. Being busy is not the same as being effective. You can fill your entire day and still move nowhere because movement without direction is just noise. And billionaires, they eliminate noise aggressively. They don't just manage time, they protect it like it's under attack because it is. From distractions, from low-value tasks, from people who don't respect it. And here's a pattern you need to notice. Every time you say yes to something small, you might be saying no to something big. That extra scroll, that unnecessary meeting, that delay, it adds up, not in hours. Pattern interrupt, you don't need more time, you need fewer leaks. That's it. Plug the leaks, and suddenly you feel powerful again. Now imagine this. What if you treated your time like someone was paying you $1,000 per hour? Would you still scroll like that? Would you still delay like that? Or would you move differently? Exactly. That version of you? That's the one you need to become. Actionable takeaway. For the next 3 days, track everything. Yes, everything. Don't judge it, just record it. Then look at it honestly, not emotionally, not defensively, objectively. Because awareness comes before control. And control changes everything. Habit 2, strategic learning. Billionaires don't read more. They read with intent. Let's kill a myth. Reading more doesn't make you smarter. Applying more does. Most people consume information like entertainment. One podcast, another video, another life-changing idea, and nothing changes. Why? Because there's no direction. It's like going to the gym and doing random exercises. You'll sweat, you'll feel productive, but you won't transform. Warren Buffett reads for hours every day. He's not reading to feel inspired. He's reading to make better decisions. That's the difference. He studies what matters, then uses it. Now here's where most people go wrong. They chase novelty. New book, new concept, new strategy. It feels exciting, but it keeps you shallow because depth requires repetition. And repetition? That's boring, so people avoid it. Let me ask you something. How many ideas have you learned but never used? Exactly. That's not learning. That's collecting. And collecting doesn't build results. Pattern interrupt. Some of you don't need more information. You need implementation, less input, more output. That's the shift. Think of knowledge like tools. Owning tools doesn't build anything. Using them does. And billionaires, they use what they learn fast. They don't wait for perfect clarity. They test, adjust, improve. That's how learning becomes leverage. Actionable takeaway. Pick one skill that directly improves your life right now. Study it with focus. Apply it immediately. Repeat it until it works. Then and only then, move forward. Because real learning doesn't fill your mind. It changes your results. Habit 3, be extreme accountability. If you're always the victim, you'll never be the solution. This one is uncomfortable, but it's powerful. Because the moment you blame something outside of you, you give away control. And control is everything. Let's say something goes wrong. Your plan fails. Your results drop. Your progress stalls. Most people go straight to excuses. The timing was bad. People didn't support me. The situation wasn't right. And listen, sometimes that's true. But here's the problem. Even if it's true, it doesn't help you because you still can't fix it. Now flip it. Ask a different question. What did I miss? What could I have done better? What will I change next time? That shift, that's where growth begins. Oprah Winfrey didn't build success by waiting for perfect conditions. She built it by taking ownership again and again. And here's the part nobody talks about. Accountability feels heavy because it removes your safety net. No excuses, no blaming, no hiding, just truth. But that's also what makes it powerful because now you're in control. Pattern interrupt. Blaming others is like sitting in a parked car and complaining about the destination. You're still the driver. Start acting like it. And let's be real for a second. It's easier to protect your ego than to improve your results. But billionaires don't protect their ego. They protect progress. They'd rather be wrong and improve than right and stuck. That's a different mindset. Actionable takeaway. For the next 7 days, notice every time you blame something external. Pause. Flip it. Ask, what can I control here? Start small. Because the more responsibility you take, the more power you gain. And power is what creates change. Habit 4, emotional discipline. Success is less about what you do and more about what you don't react to. Let's be honest. Most people don't have a strategy problem. They have a reaction problem. They quit when it gets uncomfortable. They procrastinate when it gets hard. They overthink when it gets uncertain. And then they say, I lack discipline. No, you lack emotional control. Because emotions are temporary, but decisions, they stack. And those decisions build your life. Serena Williams didn't dominate because she felt confident all the time. She felt pressure, doubt, fear, but she didn't let those feelings decide her actions. That's emotional discipline. Now here's where most people lose. They treat feelings like instructions. I feel tired. Stop working. I feel bored. Switch tasks. I feel scared. Scared. Avoid it. But feelings are signals, not commands. And if you follow them blindly, you'll stay stuck in cycles. Let me give you a simple moment. You wake up early. The alarm rings. Emotion says stay in bed. Discipline says get up. That one decision looks small, but repeat it daily, and it becomes identity. Pattern interrupt. You don't skip your job because you don't feel like it. So why skip your goals? Exactly. And here's the deeper truth. Emotional discipline isn't about being cold or robotic. It's about being in control. You still feel everything. You just don't let it control you. That's power. Because when things go wrong, and they will, your reaction determines everything, not the event, the reaction. Actionable takeaway. Create a pause between feeling and action. Even 5 seconds. That pause breaks the pattern. And in that gap, you get to choose. And that choice, that's where your future shifts. Habit 5, long-term obsession. Short-term thinking creates average lives. This is where most people fall off. Not because they're incapable, but because they're impatient. You want results in weeks. Billionaires think in decades. That's the gap. Jeff Bezos didn't build Amazon by chasing quick wins. He focused on long-term dominance. While others asked, what works now? He asked, what will still matter in 10 years? That question changes everything. Because short-term thinking feels productive, you get quick wins, quick validation, quick dopamine, but it doesn't last. And when results slow down, most people quit. Not because it's not working, but because it's not working fast enough. Let's be real. You probably started something, got excited, then stopped when progress felt slow. That's normal. But it's also the reason most people stay stuck. Let me give you a simple analogy. Plant a seed today. Water it for a week. Nothing happens. So you dig it up, check it, replant it somewhere else. Repeat. That's how most people approach goals. Constant switching. No patience. No compounding. And then they say, nothing works. No, you didn't stay long enough for it to work. Pattern interrupt, you don't microwave success. You compound it. Slow, consistent, unseen. And here's the part nobody tells you. The early phase of long-term work can be tedious. No recognition. No visible results. No applause. Just effort. That's why most people quit there. But billionaires, they expect that phase. They don't panic. They persist. Because they understand something powerful, consistency over time beats intensity every time. Actionable takeaway. Pick one goal that truly matters. Commit to it for the next 12 months. No switching. No quitting. Track progress even when it's small. Because small progress, repeated daily, turns into massive results. That's how long-term obsession pays off. Habit 6, environment design. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Every time. Let's stop pretending. You don't lack discipline. You're surrounded by distraction. Phone within reach. Notifications on. Tabs open everywhere. And you expect focus? That's like putting junk food on your table and expecting yourself to eat healthy. Good luck. Steve Jobs simplified his environment. Same outfit. Fewer decisions. Not because he couldn't choose, but because he didn't want to waste energy on things that didn't matter. That's the point. Every decision drains you, and most people burn energy on the wrong ones. By the time it's time to do real work, you're already tired. Now think about your day. You wake up, check your phone, scroll for a few minutes, which turns into 20. And just like that, your focus is gone before the day even started. That's not a lack of discipline. That's poor design. Pattern interrupt. Your phone isn't just a tool. It's engineered to keep you hooked. And it's winning. Unless you change the rules. Billionaires don't rely on motivation. They remove friction. They make good habits easy and bad habits difficult. That's how consistency is built. Let me make it simple. If your workspace is messy, your mind feels messy. If distractions are close, focus feels far. Environment shapes behavior fast. And here's the truth most people ignore. You rise or fall to what's around you. Not what you intend to do. Actionable takeaway. Change your setup. Keep your phone away while working. Clean your workspace. Keep clean your workspace. Limit what you consume. Make focus easier. Because when your environment supports you, discipline becomes automatic. And that's when things start to click. Habit 7, selective obsession. Focus is not about doing more, it's about ignoring more. This is where everything sharpens, because most people think success comes from adding more goals, more tasks, more hustle. But real success is subtraction. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the right things, relentlessly. Elon Musk didn't build multiple companies by being everywhere at once. He focused intensely on a few priorities and pushed them to the extreme. That's selective obsession. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Focus requires saying no. A lot. No to distractions. No to opportunities. Even no to good ideas, because not everything deserves your attention. Let me ask you something. How many things are you trying to improve right now? Be honest. Career, fitness, finances, skills, side projects, and then you wonder why progress feels slow. Because your energy is split, and split energy creates weak results. Pattern interrupt. If you chase two rabbits, you go hungry. Every time. That's not just a saying. That's reality. Billionaires don't chase everything. They choose, then commit. And here's the truth nobody likes. You can't have balance and extreme success at the same time. Not in the same season. There are trade-offs, and successful people accept them, while others avoid them. That's the difference. They're willing to go all in, while others stay half committed. And half commitment, it feels safe, but it produces average outcomes. Actionable takeaway, pick your top 3 priorities. Not 10, not 7, 3. Then ask yourself, what doesn't matter right now? Cut it, delay it, ignore it. Because when your focus narrows, your results expand. And that's when real progress begins. Let me slow this down for a second, because this matters. This lifestyle is not easy. It comes with pressure. It comes with sacrifice. Sometimes it comes with loneliness. This is not a movie. There's no background music when you're struggling, just you and your decisions. So ask yourself honestly, do you actually want this? Not the money, not the status, the process, because that's what it takes. Here's the final truth. You don't become successful overnight. You become it one habit at a time, one decision at a time, one uncomfortable moment at a time. You won't feel ready. You won't feel motivated. And that's okay, because the people who win, they move anyway. So start small, stay consistent. And remember this, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you rise to the level of your actions. You fall to the level of your habits. Now the question is, what are your habits building? Because whatever the answer is, that's your future. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful videos like this.